So with me today on the Spotlight session is Anne O'Keefe. Now, Anne has sent me a lovely bio, and I'm just going to read a little bit here. So what I love about you, and I think that you can feel the energy coming through the screen, is that you love to help others live their lives to the fullest. So you have over 30 years experience in personal growth.
Yeah.
You are a caring, down-to-earth and professional person-centered counsellor, hypnotherapist, PSYCH-K. I don't even know what that is, so I'm going to find out. You're a PSYCH-K facilitator, a Rune reader, creative writer, tutor, and laughter yoga teacher. So,
Yes,
I mean,
I am.
it's lovely. It's lovely. You've also worked in the mental health housing for over 20 years, and you're a wise woman in the community. And I love that. I absolutely love
Yeah,
that. What a
I'm
great
busy.
title to call yourself a wise woman.
I am. I am. I'm nudged. I've nudged into the 50s now, so I've got a bit of grey hair that beautifully blends in with the blonde, I might say.
Oh,
Um,
you're lucky. Mine doesn't blend in. I've got to get mine done again.
Go for the blend. Go for the blend. I'm not quite ready to go fully white or grey.
No,
That's in
no.
maybe next
I
decade.
I tried it on the first lockdown, and I was sort of promoting the fact that I was going grey. I got it down to about here, and then I decided unless you got a full face of makeup on, I looked old.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
decided it wasn't for me either. So
yeah.
before I start asking you some questions, I'm just going to say hello to everybody that's come in on the live. If you are on the live, please actually share that you're here with us. And if you've got any questions for our wise woman, you've got any questions about laughter yoga or rune reading, then do pop your questions down below as well. If you feel that you need any sort of help, personal development help, then we are going to put links down below, and then you can actually get in touch with Anne as well. So, Anne, my
Yeah.
first question has to be, it absolutely has to be, what, how did you end up being a rune reader of all things?
Well, yeah. Well, this is the mystery thing. I've actually been a rune reader the longest thing I've done. So
Oh,
I love ancient symbols. I love symbolism. I've loved it since I was a kid. I've collected pebbles and stones and seashells. I have since I was a kid. I still do. I've got a house full of crystals. And it was back in the mid 90s where I went on a retreat down to Glastonbury, not the festival, the town.
mm,
And I was in a I was still at university. It was quite a few years ago now. I'd sort of broken up with a partner. I was really heartbroken and upset. And I had this calling to go down to Glastonbury in Somerset. And it was a real turning point going down there for that period of time in my life, because I discovered the runes down there, and I was gifted a set of runes, and I didn't really know what they are. And what runes are is they're angular shapes. So I've got a rune card here.
mm,
So that rune there, it's an angular shape.
yeah.
And these symbols were carved by our ancestors as a form of communication. So they predated the A to Z that we use now. But the great thing about the runes is they're very multidimensional.
Mm,
And that's what I really, really love, because I like my work to be multidimensional and come from different angles and disciplines. And the runes are a great compass for life. Our ancestors used them to help with day-to-day stuff, where to live, where there's water, is the crops going to be good, and also to ask about the stuff that we all still ask now, stuff to do with our love life, our work, our purpose, our health,
mm.
our money, all the stuff that us human beings, we've still got. We might have evolved in some ways, but in other ways we're still asking similar questions to maybe what the ancestors did.
Yeah, no
And
doubt, no doubt. And the thing is that sometimes we need answers because we can't actually work out the answer for ourselves. But
yeah,
how do say like the runes
runes,
differ
yeah.
from say tarot cards, for instance?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, it's a question I often get asked. The runes have been around about 10,000 years. So you'll see these carved onto sort of standing stones, in places in northern England, in Scotland, Ireland, Scandinavia. It was the Vikings that brought them over to the British Isles. And as people migrate, they of course take their language, their stories, their songs, their culture. That's what us people do, isn't it? I think what I love about the runes, which is slightly different to tarot, I've got a lot of love and respect for the tarot. I'm not a tarot reader, but I've got a couple of extremely learned friends that are tarot experts. And what I think the difference is that the runes are very much connected with nature. So they're very much connected with the earth, the air, the fire and the water. And I know there's elements of that in tarot. But I feel there's a real clarity with the runes. And I feel that symbolism can affect us on our conscious and unconscious level in a deep, deep way. And also the runes are multi-purpose. I use the runes for readings for my own and for friends and clients, but actually you can chant with the runes, you can do runic yoga, you can do dream work with it and journeying, you can create sigils with the runes. So they've got a lot of actual multi-purposes, the runes, to really empower you to be in alignment in your life.
Yeah,
That's what I love about them.
yeah, they sound amazing. So do you find that you tend to use the runes in most of what you do, or do you kind of divide each of your modalities into their own sort of their own pocket, if you like, or does it sort of combine? Because you said about yoga, and I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I know. It's something I'm gonna have to get a craze going, isn't it? Rune yoga, you can get into the shapes of the runes. So you start empowering yourself with the shape of the rune. So it's got a meaning. So yeah, I mean, I do, because I do teach a lot of different things. The runes is something I've been doing for over 26 years now. And I do that as standalone readings. Often people come for me for, counselling, which is what a reading is, counselling and guidance and wisdom. I also teach people how to use the runes in day workshops. Sometimes I do some crossovers if I'm doing some hypnotherapy with people. And we want to sometimes, the great thing about consulting the runes is you start bypassing your conscious mind, which is only 5% of you, of all of us, and you start accessing the unconscious, which is that 95%. So I'm sure there might be coaches or hypnotherapists or healers listening to this, and they'll understand that it's all this stuff under the surface, whatever it is, our gifts, our talents, our background. If we can access this and come into alignment with our conscious mind, then we come into harmony and unity.
Yeah. Now that's an interesting thing, because for say like someone that's not a healer, they're a lay person, how can they tap into that subconscious mind? Because our conscious is, so for us, we're kind of governed by it, or we think that we are. We think that we are in control, that we're in control of our destiny, that we're in control of our mind and our thoughts. How, why is it that seems to be the one that's the majority outwardly? Does that make sense? So
yes.
So it feels like we're all, using our brains and we're consciously doing things. And we talk about the subconscious being something that's kind of hidden, that we have to get into it. But why isn't that at the forefront rather than the conscious?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good one. I mean, on a sort of on a molecular level, that our brain is pretty much 5%. So even if we were super intelligent, like the late Stephen Hawking, for instance, a great mind, we'd still only be using that 5% of our logical and of our thinking brain, and that'll be using our day-to-day stuff. So it'll be alpha waves, and they're quite up and down. So, but it's the rest of our brain, that 95%, which has got our inner resources, i.e. all the stuff we've learned from growing up, from school, from college, from reading books, from watching movies, from observing life, our fears, our hang-ups, our trauma, our gifts, our talents, all our inherited stuff, whatever that is. That could be a real mixed bag.
Mm.
It's all in there. And it's also the stuff that's to do with governing the body. We don't have to think about our heart beating.
No,
you
true,
know
true.
we
No.
and once you're a child, you can master how to tie your shoelaces up or pick a cup up and drink it,
Mm,
but if you had a brain injury, you'd have to relearn how to do all that again.
mm, mm.
So it's looking at also the aspects of how the brain's used, but also the brain waves. So if we're doing stuff that's enjoyable, like reading or laughing or meditating or yoga or whatever, we walking in nature, if
Mm.
we're enjoying that, we can get more relaxed. So it's going to start affecting our brain waves. So we can start getting into some of those more softer brain waves, a bit
Yes,
more delta. Yeah. And
yes,
if we're
yes.
meditating or daydreaming or
Mm,
making love or dancing, we can go into those deeper stuff. So having a really good sleep, we can go into those deeper theta states. And
yes.
that's where we can really be, accessing the unconscious. But
Mm,
the thing is, stuff comes out anyway in us,
mm,
because the words, our thoughts, words, deeds, and actions. I always think our brain is like a four-wheel drive. We can still have our hands on the steering wheel and point in the dark, stick our sat nav on, point in the direction, go to the shops, for instance. Brilliant. But then there's all the stuff behind us. What's driving us to go to the shop? Why do we want to go to the shop? What time? Where are we going? Why are we going there? What are we buying? What's the reasons for that? There's all this stuff behind us
mm.
that's the motivator. And
Yes.
this is it. Is what is motivating us? Is
Mm,
it love? Is it
mm,
fear? Is it lack?
mm, mm.
Is it, what is it? What's motivating us?
Well, that's interesting that you
Huh?
say about the motivation because, certainly this past 18 months, a lot of the motivation has been fear. And unfortunately, that's put a lot of people into more of a negative state of mind.
Yeah.
So, have you come across a lot of people that are feeling the pressure of the fear, and how are you
Yeah.
able to help them? Because we're constantly being bombarded. It's on the TV, it's on the social media,
Yeah.
it's on our text, it's on the radio. There's this bombardment of putting people into this fear state. So it's a fear state of whether they are fearful of the virus, of fear state of being fearful of the vaccine or getting the vaccine or not getting the
Yeah.
vaccine,
Yeah.
of fear of traveling, all of those
Okay.
things
Yeah.
come up. So how do we get everybody back to that calmer
Into
state of being? I mean,
laughing.
I can feel it's
Laugh.
changing,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's first of all, is to stay grounded. Is to
mm,
stay grounded. I mean, the great thing that's come out of this last 16 months, 18 months, shall we say,
mm,
is that more people are getting outdoors. I mean, I've always got outdoors. Maybe the viewers, maybe you always get outdoors. I like being in nature. I love gardening. I like going out
mm,
and for walks and for being part of nature, but a lot of people haven't. So this is a revelation for a lot. So get out in nature and be grounded, feel the earth, touch the earth. Doesn't matter how long it's for, just get out and breathe.
yes,
Breathing is going to calm our parasympathetic system. What is that? It's the thing that says in our brain, you're okay, all is well, you are safe. You are
yes,
safe, all is well. That's a great mantra.
it
I
is.
am safe, all is well.
Yes.
I'm doing the best I can. Keeping your feet on the ground, actually feeling like you've got roots coming out of your
Mm,
feet.
mm.
Feet. What's feet?
Free.
I've combined tree and feet there with feet. Hanging out with feet, hanging out with trees, hug a tree. Also, sweet. All right, I know we're on media now, and media can be wonderful. Well, we're chatting, and you can chat to people all over the world.
Yeah.
Isn't that brilliant? But
Yes. Yes.
also, there's a lot of BS on it. There's a lot of
Yes.
BS,
Of
and
course.
there's
Of
and
course.
there's a lot of people projecting their stuff,
Mm,
which is their opinion. And of
mm.
course, we're entitled to opinion, but it doesn't mean we have to listen to it or watch it,
No,
does it?
absolutely. And I think you're absolutely right there. I talk to quite a number of people and they're in this constant state of worry. And
Mm,
I actually say to them, and I saw a great film. I think it was called The Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks. There was a brilliant piece in it, and it was actually about a Russian spy. He was like a double agent, and they had to take the Russian spy and give him back to Russia.
Yes.
Now, it was going to be an exchange for an American spy. Now, the whole point about it is that he had to be briefed prior to going across the bridge. And the very last part of the film was him going across the bridge. And I won't give the spoiler or anything. But basically, the mediator was Tom Hanks. And he was saying to this guy, look, there's some things that are going to happen. We've got to do this, we've got to do that. It could be very difficult for you. What about your family? What about your friends and everything else? And the guy's just sitting there going, what will happen will happen. And
Yes.
constantly Tom Hanks kept saying to him, aren't you worried? And he's going, why are you worried? What will happen will happen. And he kept saying, but aren't you worried? And it was almost like he wanted him to worry. And he said, in the end, he said, what is the point of worrying? Whatever happens, happens. If I worry now, I cause the pain. And it may not happen. Then if it happens, I cause pain again.
So what I'm doing is I mean, people come to me, totally. What you focus on grows.
Yes.
Yes. So we've got, one of the things we do in PSYCH-K, which is a modality I use, which is psychological kinesiology. It's been around for about 30 years now. It's created by Rob Williams, brilliant psychotherapist in America, who wanted to bring the modalities of muscle testing and using clean language. What's clean language? It's saying what you mean and keeping it in owning the language, I, me, and keeping it in present tense, because the brain doesn't know, the unconscious mind doesn't say, I'll be happy in like 10 minutes time, or I'll be happy when I'm a size 10, or I'll be healthy and wealthy and all this at the end of the year. Now, you've got to have it all in the present time, because it's got to anchor into the cells of your the conscious and the unconscious mind, but anchor into the cells of the body. I know that Bruce Lipton, the writer of Biology of Belief, is a massive fan of PSYCH-K. So if you're interested in that, look at psych-k.com. I'm a facilitator of PSYCH-K, and it means you can start. So over the last year, I've been doing sessions online. So I've just started resuming seeing people, in person. Or meeting them outdoors if they're comfortable with that, and loads of people are. And it's really sort of saying, what is it that you want to get out of this session? Where do you want to be? How do you want to see yourself? How do you want to feel? Because a lot of people are reassessing their life. Yes, there's loads of people working from home. I've been working from home for years. I love it.
Me too.
I love it. But also I am a social worker, so I still go out to do social work with the young people I work with. And I'll continue to do that. But a lot of people are reassessing what is important for them, because you have something like what's going on now, pandemic, or it could be in other countries have had wars or poverty or famine, because all this stuff is going on all around the world a lot of the time. Sadly, it's going on. And it makes you hone in on what is important. What is your baseline values? What is important? And having a rune reading can give you direction, and it can give you clarity about maybe if you're feeling a bit foggy or a bit overwhelmed or confused. And some of the PSYCH-K and hypnotherapy can say, right, okay, let's get a solution. Let's look at the way forward. How can you change yourself? There's a lot in the world that we can't change. I always come back to my great serenity prayer that I've got stuck in my office here. God got me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There's loads of stuff that we can't change. In fact, there's loads of stuff in all of our lives that we ain't got no control over.
Yes, yeah. Look, I'm a great believer in that, and that actually has served me very well, because I think that in my younger years I used to worry an awful lot about what may or may not happen, and it stopped me from doing an awful lot of things. But now that I think age also helps, and I think that when you actually do live in the present and you live in the now and you don't worry about the what ifs and maybes, then your life is much more full of joy.
Yes.
You can really enjoy it. And like you say, I often say the universe will provide, the universe will sort it out. There are some things that I really, if it pops into my mind, I just remove it straight away, because I think to myself, there's no point in worrying about that, because I have no control over it whatsoever, like zero control over it whatsoever. The only thing
Yeah,
I've got control of is me in
yeah,
here, who I am, what I'm doing right now, what I want to achieve, what my values are, who I'm with, etc., etc. So that really keeps you very, very grounded when you think about that all the time. And when you
yeah.
are, I feel, when you are really present with yourself, you are present for so many others at the same time.
Yes,
And this
yes,
is what I learned. It's amazing that, honestly, when you're truly present with yourself, and actually, I was talking to the lovely Sophia Soul last night. I don't know if you saw the interview, but we were talking of
yeah,
something similar to this. You know, that
yeah,
when you give yourself the gift of love, when you give yourself the gift of being, then
yeah,
you give so much to others.
yeah.
It just happens, it
It does.
flows out of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, one of the things that, I mean, obviously I use the runes. I still consult the runes myself.
yeah.
I used to do it a lot more when I was learning 26 years ago. So I was always picking a rune, but it's good to pick a rune a day.
Can we do one? Can
Let's
we do
pick a
one now?
rune, and then shall we do some laughter? And the other thing is laughter. It is the great stress reliever. It's the thing that makes us human. There's
Yeah,
lots of things that humans do that makes us different.
yeah,
But if we actually want to unify ourselves and unify with each other, laughter
yes,
brings you
yeah,
together, all parts of you together, and it brings other people together. And even if you just see and hear laughter and you're not laughing, that has a positive effect on the brain and your hormones. How
yeah,
cool is that? How
yeah. I
cool is
know.
that?
I
How cool is
know. It's
that?
so,
How
and
cool
it's
is
such a
that?
simple. It's such a simple thing, and everybody's got it.
Everyone can do it, or at least smile.
Yes, yeah,
If people have got real, neurological things, that can be difficult.
yeah.
But the majority of people, we can do laughter. I
Yes,
mean, should we
yeah,
do a little laughter thing now?
yeah. Well,
I'm just aware of time and stuff.
do
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ruin thing. And
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, before you do that, how did you get into the laughter yoga, though?
Oh, well,
What
I've
was
been
the
messing
sort of
about for
specific?
years and laughing for years and getting told off in jobs and school, and you're too disruptive in the office and all this. I mean, really, I've had it all my life.
Yeah, yeah,
So now I'm just doing it for a living.
yeah. Oh,
No, I trained in laughter yoga. It was created by an Indian medical doctor called Madan Kataria. He's an absolutely brilliant guy. He was
yeah.
doing research between happiness and laughter and how it affects your physical health. He'd
Mm,
done all this research in the parks in Mumbai with his friends,
mm,
realised they were sleeping better, they were more relaxed,
mm,
they were getting on with people better, their
mm.
blood pressure had reduced, their digestion had reduced, their circulation had improved, their mental health was better. I can go on and on and on and on and on with this.
Yeah.
Laughter yoga works. And it's
Yes.
really simple. And you can feel daft and silly, but
Yeah.
actually, if you want to grow in life, you
Mm.
need more playfulness. It
Oh,
ain't more information, it's more playfulness.
I agree. Mm.
We're bombarded with information which can make us feel all sorts of feelings, but
Yeah.
actually being playful
Mm.
is it opens us up physically and emotionally and mentally.
Yes.
So shall we do a little bit
Let's
of,
do the card, because you said you could combine the card with the laughter. So I'd love to
well,
do that.
we're doing a little, the rune of the month is a rune called Uraz, and the runes are in a sequence like, they've got a sequence like the alphabet. So this rune is the rune of the month. It looks like a cow here on a hill, and it's
Mm.
all about heal thyself. It's all about strengthening yourself. It's all about not overgiving. It's about, a lot of people are carers, a
Mm.
lot of people are support workers or nurses or doctors or working with the general public. I know I do that myself, but it's also about really healing yourself. So if people do need to be stretching their body or having a massage or getting out for walks in nature, is to be looking at flexibility in the body and getting
Mhm.
stronger, but it's flexibility in the mind. So it is maybe looking at a new mindset and new beliefs, like you saying, Sunny, that you're saying, everything's great, I attract wonderful things. I mean, that could be termed as a mantra, an affirmation, or a belief.
Mm-mm.
The brain is made up of beliefs about us and the universe. So if you keep repeating something, you're anchoring that into your conscious mind, your day-to-day life, but anchoring it into the unconscious and subconscious. And I do bring this in when I do my readings, because, you know, I've been doing counselling and solution stuff, so I can say solution focused work for donkey's years now. So I bring it into reading. So people, this is a time of really healing and loving our body and opening our mind to maybe new ways of thinking.
I like
that's
that.
The rune of the month now, and that rune can be relevant anytime, but it's like a signature or a theme, shall we say, and that'll run to the end of the month.
And actually, you know, sometimes whether you believe it or not, it's a matter of a choice. You know, if you choose, isn't it nicer to choose joy and laughter rather than choose fear and worry? I saw someone, who was it? Solera, this morning. She actually posted, "Can you feel the joy?" And, you know, people were responding. Some were responding, "Yes, I can feel the joy." And some were responding, "No, they couldn't." And she was sort of sending some joy over to them, which was really lovely. And I think that sometimes it is a choice that we have to choose, regardless of what's going on. We have to choose something to be joyful about and grateful for.
A life. We're in a body. We're awake. I've got a cup of tea. I've got my feet on the ground. You know, I run a gratitude group on Facebook, which has really took off last year. I've been doing gratitude groups for donkey's years, but it took off like big time. I restarted it last February, and it means that everyone can just focus on the little things that are good enough, because the little things are what keep us anchored, and the little things put the bigger stuff actually into perspective. It really, really does work. What you focus on grows, and it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it develops and grows. So it goes with that Uraz room of how can we strengthen our body? How can we strengthen and be more flexible in the mind? Because we're neuroplastic in the mind, which means that we can create new beliefs about ourselves anytime. Sometimes we're going to need time for healing. It's been a traumatic time for a lot of people. You can't deny that. You can't deny the challenging stuff going on. That wouldn't be fair nor balanced. So heal the challenges, look at reducing the fear, and look at where you put the magic of concentration. Where do you want to put your focus? What do you want more of? Do you want more peace? Do you want more rest? Do you want more laughter? Do you want more friendships? Do you want more good health? Do you want more abundance? Do you want more better environment? You know, where you put your energy is going to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tick all of those boxes. Thanks.
Yeah. And we have days where we fall off, because hey, we're human, aren't we? You know? But if you've got a toolkit, at least you can go back to your toolkit and say, okay, I'm having a bit of a tough time, or I've got curveball stuff going on with my work or family or friends or whatever in life. That's life, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, that's right. And accept that this too will pass.
This too shall pass. What I like doing with the laughter yoga thing is we just lift our arms up, have a little breathe in, and literally just say the word "ha" and go and do that one more time. This is funny, isn't it, doing this?
It is actually funny, especially because I know that there are some people on this live that will go, "Oh my God."
But this is about being playful. It's the art of being playful. And if people are at home, spirituality's got to be really serious, it's like, sorry, people, get over yourself. No, it ain't. It ain't. Some of the wisest people have got a twinkle in their eye and they laugh and giggle.
And mischievous. I love it.
Because it keeps you youthful, it keeps you playful, but it keeps you open in your mind. And that is the key, keeping open. So a few deep breaths in. And let the heart, let it be elongated and go into a bit of a giggle or laugh, like a ha. It's silly, isn't it? It's good to be silly. I do this with people.
It's so simple, actually.
Just breathe in. Just do the ha sound. Ha.
Do you I can imagine just spending time with you because you've got that infectious laughter as well. We just make people laugh.
And I don't care if people are laughing with me or at me. I'm beyond all that. The thing is you smile, because when you smile, not only do you trigger off dopamine and serotonin, they're the feel-good hormones in the brain and the body, but you're opening up the diaphragm, you're getting your heart and lungs going. What's been going on in this last year? All stuff to do with our lungs. Come on, people, we've got to really be loving the heart and lungs, haven't we? Yeah,
definitely.
So laughter yoga is just a joy, and I've just started redoing it for like hen parties. I've been doing online stuff for team meetings, and anywhere there's people that want more connection and joy.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'll have to get you into the group and we can do a full session.
Oh God, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be good. Brilliant. And we'll do it as a proper invitation, to people. We'll promote it so that people can come along. And I think that would be fun, especially if we're all on Zoom doing it as well.
It's a lot of fun because
live.
Yeah, you're transmitting good energy, but you're letting go of a lot of anxiety and stress when you laugh. So you're shedding some sort of low vibes and you're increasing yourself with good energy and good vibration. And that can really give you good ideas in your life and your work as well. I often get good ideas after I've had a laughter yoga session.
Yeah, it frees up the brain from the worry to actually being much more open and surrendering to
you're increasing your vibration. You're shrugging off. You're shrugging off all the old negative vibes and all the old dross. You're shrugging off all the old dross.
All the old crap.
All the old dross. Just let it go.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to finish up now. How do people get in touch with you? Do you have something that you can offer to the listeners in terms of,
I mean, I if anyone's listening now or on the replay, my website is livinglifefully.net. I'm on Facebook and O'Keefe. I'm also on Instagram as O'Keefe, just to be different. And I mean, if anyone wants to put Sunny Love, send me a message, and then I can give people a 10% discount on readings and therapies if you've watched the session today. If not, I do regular stuff on Facebook with Laughter Yoga. I've got a gratitude group. I also do something called the Grandmothers Group, but I think that might be a discussion for another day. And it's more about getting wise women together and casting a net of light over the whole of humanity. So it's about anchoring feminine yin energy, which is what I'm moving into.
It's been an absolute real pleasure. So
it's brilliant. Can I just say, I so love your name, Sunny Love. Wow. It's just the best, isn't it?
I love it.
It's just the best.
I know.
It's a laughter yoga exercise we do, is we laugh at our own names. So we lighten up about ourselves.
That's great. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love it. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much, Anne, for being here.
Thank you, Sunny.
And we'll definitely organise a laughter session in the group.
If people would love that, I'd be absolutely delighted. And it's been really fun this morning. I think we could talk a lot, couldn't we, about all sorts of things? I think so. You know where I am. Give me a call.
I'll give you a buzz. We'll get on a coffee meeting. It was so long.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a great day. Have a great day. Keep smiling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bless you. Bye.